The Delhi Capitals will win the IPL, or will it be the Punjab Kings, or will it be RCB, or will it be Lucknow? It looks like one of the 4 teams that haven't won it yet are in a good position to finally get the title. Then again, Gujarat Titans on top are just playing simple and effective cricket to win match in, match out. So let's look at their team first. The Gujarat Titans at 5 wins and 2 losses are just playing simple cricket, just sensible cricket every match. Sai Sudarshan has been crazy consistent, and despite still being an emerging player contender, he's already the orange cap favorite. You've got Josh Butler, who's also been very consistent. He's great at managing his innings, and then you've even got Shubman Gill, who's just showing a lot of intent up top, but isn't really batting through the way you expect of him. On the bowling front, Prasidh Krishna has been very, very impressive. He is in the best form he's ever been, and he's currently leading the Purple Cap race with 14 wickets. Mohammad Siraj started off on fire, and he's been very hot, but in the few games they've lost or come close, he's also been very cold. It's very inconsistent with him. Sai Krishna has been the standout spinner this season, found his way in the 11 and solidified it. While Rashid Khan, one of the greats of the T20 game, has been out of form, but it still hasn't really had an effect on the team. It's a horses for courses team that will select players based on what they need rather than their form, and that's why they only play with 3 foreigners every match. They don't really need changes. Maybe Washington Sundar gets a few more games, but besides that, it's been going great. Then you've got the Delhi Capitals, and KL once again has emerged as a backbone of their batting lineup. They do have opening concerns, and they've actually been the worst team opening. But now that Jake Fraser-Murcutt has been dropped, once Faf du Plessis gets back in, it should be smooth sailing. Kurnar finally got his chance back in the IPL, and he was brilliant, especially against Jasprit Bumrah in that innings. You know what I'm talking about. In terms of the whole IPL, impact-wise, Kuldeep Yadav's actually been the number 1 player full stop. He's been so impressive with the ball, he's been economical, and he gets wickets every match. He's been very bankable, and you could say the same about Mitchell Starc. He feels like he really cares about this team, and he pulled that amazing Super Bowl victory too. We expected Natarajan to be his partner in crime on the death, and for whatever reason he's still out, probably injury, but you'd be itching to see him back in the lineup. This team, especially Akshay Patel, just have a good energy about them. That allows for some amazing comebacks like the one against LSG and RR. The Punjab Kings, with 5 wins and 2 losses, feel like they're having the best season since 2014. Priyancharya is an opener new to the game, and yet he's been completely on fire, brought a lot of impact to the opening. But this team, while very attacking, can be careless. Shreyas Iyer is a great captain, but the middle order needs to work better. Maxwell the batsman has been super disappointing, despite the fact that Maxwell the bowler has actually overperformed. Chahal finally looks like he's picking up some form. Arshdeep is just doing his stuff game in game out, and Jansen's also gotten to that level recently. That's how they managed to somehow defend 111 in one of the all-time thrillers of the IPL. As one of the 2 teams that has played 8 games so far, LSG has 5 wins and 3 losses. Their overseas top 3 has been on fire, with Markram pulling his weight recently, Mitch Marsh being super destructive, and Pooran just being a sensational and breathtaking T20 player. This has been so impressive that it's completely covered up for the fact that Rishabh Pant, their massive 27 crore signing by the way, has completely been struggling and misfiring. It's a big mystery as we wonder why he just feels like he's not at the level, despite the fact that we've seen in the past that he is. You've also got Aish Badoni and Abdul Samad just bringing in the power whenever they've needed it. And on the bowling front, Digvish Singh Rathi has been one of the finds of the tournament. He's been the best bowler, and he's just been so impactful. Avish Khan in the past 3 games has also shown that impact, and he's given flashes of the early career that we know was so promising. And lastly, you have Shardul Thakur, who's been game-changing in every match. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. And number 5 with 4 wins out of 7, you got RCB, and they just got a dangerous reality check against Punjab Kings. They're monsters away from home, but just minnows at Chinnaswamy. Salt, Kohli, Patidar and Jutesh have all been on fire, and they're playing some attacking cricket. But I want to give a shout out to their best batsman so far, Tim David. He's played in every single match when they've been struggling or when they've been on fire. He even saved them from embarrassment last game when he got them to almost 100. But where RCB shines is by having the best bowling attack in this IPL so far. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Yash Dayal, and especially Josh Hazelwood have all been super consistent and just lethal with the ball in hand. Suresh Sharma has also stepped up big time as a reliable frontline spinner, while Krunal Pandya stepped up when needed. The one change they could make going ahead is bringing in Jacob Bethel for Liam Livingstone, as he is a capable replacement for the out-of-form English batsman. Now, starting out the bottom half, you've got KKR. This is a very long and destructive batting lineup, yet there's no signs of form across it besides Ryan Raghuvanshi. Andre Russell in particular looks like he's losing his impact. I mean, this is a guy who used to be the most feared batsman across the last few years of the IPL, and now he looks like a shell of himself. They've also got the Moeen Ali effect, where they won all 3 games he started and lost all 4 games he did. So maybe the answer is just as simple as that. As the defending champions, they just as a whole unit don't look set. Then you got the Mumbai Indians, and this is a team that looks like they're finally finding a groove. The opening has been inconsistent, but Rohit and the others are slightly improving match in, match out. In general though, this is a team filled with stars, and I feel like that's hampering them as they're putting too much importance in their wickets. Take Sky for example, he's been getting runs, but still doesn't feel like he has the impact of a player of his caliber. They act like they only bat until number 6, and that is a problem for them. On the bowling front, they're probably bowling with Deepak Charan. Trent looks amazing on paper but has really fire. Although Trent Bolt has been good at the death, Bumrah is finally back, and Hardik Pandya has been the best bowler. This looks like a team that could make a league charge, and we know how dangerous they are once they're in form. Now at number 8, you got RR who won 2 out of their 8 games. They have young energy. I mean, Vaibhav Suryavanshi was so impressive on his debut. This is a 14-year-old who's hit a first ball 6 and then a third ball 6. What's equally impressive is how they managed to ball that chase. They're just mismanaging chases left and right. It's been 2 games in a row, and they just act like they're bad until 6-2. Take Yashasvi, for example. He's gone consistent over the last few games, but the way he builds his innings is lacking. Maybe strike rotation or something in the middle. When you compare him to the way Virat, Shreyas, K. Rahul, Shubman Gill, Josh Butler, those guys build their innings, you feel like he slows down too much in the middle. And that hurts them. Parag, Jurel, and Hetman not being at the level they plan when they build the squad also matches that problem. But Jafar Archer has been very good in the last few games. And even as strong as brought into wicket taking, we always see him do it in the international level. As a unit though, this team maybe needs a bit more experience because if they'd just been a little bit more sensible, they could easily have been 4 wins and 4 losses. Now, SRH, the team to watch before the IPL, the high energy team, just look like they've lost all their energy completely. You got Travis Head and Andre Klassen, who are just 2 of the most destructive T20 batsmen going around, and yet you can't see any of those signs in this IPL so far. Abhishek Sharma has been very inconsistent too. He needs a lot of luck to get going. Once he gets going, he's crazy destructive, but you can't expect that from him every match. Then you got Ishan Kishan, who was a one-match wonder from the first game, but since then he just has not been looking like an IPL level batsman. And Nish Reddy too, it just feels like he's struggling. He can stay on the crease for long, but he's not really getting those runs at this pace you need on this level. Even the bowling is conceding a lot of runs, and that's why you have a team that's underperforming the way they are. The way things stand, this looks like a team that either hits 240 plus or struggles to get 170. It's 2 crazy extremes, which as a team is pretty unhealthy. And last but probably least, you have CSK. MSD is back as captain, but the CSK effect we've known for years and years just is not visible. This is a team that usually takes underperforming players and raises them to a completely different level. And yet this time around, we haven't seen any of that throughout the 11. And it's hard to even assign any blame in the batting because everyone's underperforming. Not a single player can put their hand up high and say with confidence that I'm giving a positive impact on this team. You have to feel for the Emirates bowling, Noor and Khalil, because they're doing really good every match. And yet this team is just not coming close to winning. So, at the halfway stage, who do we think will make the playoffs? Well, we've got GT, Delhi Capitals, Punjab Kings, and a late run from Mumbai Indians to round out what we think might be the top 4. For the orange cap and the emerging player currently, I think Sai Sudarshan is a favorite. With the role he's been allowed to play in the team and the consistency he's showing, it just feels like he's going to get runs every single match. The purple crab race is completely open in the air and I have no idea who will win it. Pratik Krishna is first, but still, as I said, complete mystery. So, that's the IPL so far. I hope you enjoyed this content and let us know down in the comments how you think the rest of the season will go. If you like this content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.